What's going on, y'all? My name is Terrence Cole. Thank you for joining us at Drunk Uncle's podcast.
What's up? I ain't always going straight like that. What's going on, man? This is Jay. Welcome to the podcast. I guess the last time we did this, I didn't introduce myself properly. So, yeah, man. Like I said, my name is Jay. I guess you could say I'm the track and NFL guy here. I used to run track a little bit through high school and college. Just here to give good takes, hot takes. Like I said, Justin Herbert's the best quarterback in the NFL.
Here we go.
And then what's up, everybody? My name is Sean Ragland, coming to you guys live from Toledo. A little bit about me, grew up playing basketball and football, all throughout my life. Went to Bowling Green for college, so shout out to Falcons with a degree in sport management. So, yeah, sports is my life. Excited to be talking to you guys today.
Go Rockets. We got a special guest today, Coach Brandon Carter, Ottawa Hills head football coach, Elite Athletic Academy owner, great mentor, great trainer, great everything. Give it up for that guy over there.
Appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me on the show, man. Appreciate it.
Sure. We appreciate you coming. We want to get straight into it. Sean's going to start us off with a question for you, and then we're going to just go after that.
Let's get it.
Yep.
Yeah. So we just wanted to start off with, kind of, how long you've been coaching for, and then, kind of, what, kind of got you interested in getting into coaching.
Got you. I've been coaching since 2003. My nephew, Jaleel Carter, when he was a sophomore, he was at St. John's, and I had just finished up playing arena football. And he was like, yo, you should come out to coach. And I'm like, dude, I have absolutely no idea, anything about coaching. I just played or whatever. He was like, just come out, try it, see if you like it. So I ended up calling my old head coach, was the coach at St. John's at the time, Doug Pearson. So I hit him up. I'm like, Doug, thinking about getting the coaching, how you feel about that? He was like, oh, come on out. So I'm like, cool. So I'm thinking unpaid freshman staff, to get my feet wet, right? Man, I get out there. He like, yeah, you're on varsity with us. You up in the box. You got the whole thing there. This is our schedule. And I mean, we was playing Findlay. They were good back then. We played Columbus DeSales, Brother Rice. It was somebody else that was really good. So I'm like, Coach, man, you threw me into the fire. So heavy hitters, you threw me into the fire. He was like, BC, you'll be good. Just be yourself, man. And everything else will just kind of take care of itself. And it just kind of took care of itself ever since then, man.
Cool. So you said that was in 2000. Where you started at?
St. John's. Yeah, St. John's. So
what did you go there for?
I was at St. John's the first time for 7 years, I believe it was. And then I had left there. I took a D coordinator job at Scott. I was at Scott for a year with Gardner Howard, and then we left there and went to Wait. Was at Wait for 2 years. Then I left there, and then I was at Northview. I was at Northview for, I think it was a year. It was either a year or two. Went back to St. John's, actually. After that, went to Whitmer. I was at Whitmer for 3 years, and then after that, I went to Ottawa Hills.
Did you graduate from St. John's as well, too?
I went to Start.
I
went to Start. Roy C, baby.
All day.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So Ottawa Hills, you guys made the playoffs last year, correct?
We did.
Yes. Okay. What was the record?
We did. We finished 11-2. We broke the school record for wins. It was 10 Richmond. Thank you. This is my first year as head coach. So I was there last year as an assistant, but I've been coaching baseball there for a while. That's what got me over there, actually. I've been coaching baseball as a head JV coach for 6-7 years. And then they talked me into, they tried to ease me back into coaching football.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing junior high football, which actually my first group was these guys that just is graduating this year. They're seniors.
Kind of grew them pretty much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, and just kind of came up with those guys last year. They got me back coaching high school football. So I was an assistant last year. We went 8-2 the previous year, made the playoffs. We lost in the first round. And then after the season was over with, they came to me about, being the top dog, man. And
there you go.
This year. Big things, man.
I
Congratulations.
got a question for you.
Thank you. Of course. Go ahead.
So, do you think it's every year it's going to get better and better? Because it's at Springfield, when I left, we were 2-8, but then every year we just kept getting better and better. Do you think there's going to be the same thing for you? Every year is just going to keep getting better?
I mean, I hope so. We had 4 seniors off of this group, actually 6, but like 4 of them was like dudes that played.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll have to replace them up front. All of our skill guys are back.
Yeah.
I
Big.
think we can be pretty good again. If we fill in those guys up front, then I think we'll actually have a chance to be probably even better this coming year as we was last year.
Sure.
So just, you know, if things fall into place like they do, I think so. And, you know, Idlewood Hills wasn't really known for football.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You know what I mean? It's been
Yeah.
everything else but that. So it's like now we starting to, you know, get the football buzz going and everybody kind of, you know, taking it serious over there now. So hopefully we'll get more guys out that wasn't playing before.
Sure.
There you go. There you go.
So, what do you think makes a good football coach? Like, what do you think like goes into being a good coach?
Well, I learned from some good ones, man. So, like when I was at Toledo, Coach Pinkel was my coach at Toledo when I played there. My position coach was Matt Eberflus, who's the Chicago Bears head coach.
Okay.
So I learned from those guys coming up. Obviously,
amazing.
Doug. And then actually, it's crazy. I ended up becoming really good friends with Jerry Glanville. He coached Deion Sanders in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So he moved back here. He's in Perrysburg, and one of the guys on my staff is really good friends with him.
Okay.
So I said, bring him up. So we had like a chalk talk one day, man. That dude has been been a blessing. He texts me every morning, giving me, you know what I'm saying, free game, man. I love that dude. Shout out to Jerry Glanville. That's my dude, man.
Jerry,
Definitely.
There you go. There you go.
So like, Cole, if you want to go.
Oh no, you can go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say the one that you had pretty much for him. So
like, what do you think like is your biggest inspiration? Like, who inspired you the most to become like a coach, and who do you like fit your game style after?
Well, my dad, I mean, he coached us in baseball, me and my brother in baseball and football growing up. And I mean, just him sacrificing his time, you know what I mean, to not just coach us, but to coach the other kids in the neighborhood and other people and stuff like that. So I would definitely say that he was definitely an inspiration. And, you know, he kind of showed me the way, which I wasn't really, this wasn't my path. Like if you asked me when I was younger, I would have never even told you that I wanted to be a coach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I kind of just fell into it, but he showed me the blueprint when he was younger or when I was younger. And I just learned from him and then just kind of applied all of those things when I did get the job.
Sure.
You know, and then as far as like what it takes to be a good head coach, I mean, obviously having knowledge of the game, that stuff is great. You know what I'm saying? But you got to build relationships with your guys. And I was at a coaching conference and I think we were in Nashville. It was either Nashville or Charlotte. And I was listening to Nick Saban talk, and he was like, man, listen, the key to all of this is building relationships, whether it's recruiting, building relationships with the kids and their parents. When you get them in your school, building relationships with them too. So that kind of was something that stuck with me, and it's just been always a matter of those guys are like my own kids. You know what I mean? Like this year for football, like every Friday before our games, like at lunchtime, because at Idlewood Hills we get an hour so we can leave.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
that's pretty
the
dope.
older guys, we was called the lunchbox group. So I went to lunch with my dudes every Friday. I wasn't Coach Carter. I was just one of the dudes, and we would just open up about everything, just getting to know each other, them knowing me and me knowing them, and it just kind of, you know what I'm saying, built that relationship where it was just like, oh, like this dude really do care about me. It ain't just about football. We talk about girls, all kind of stuff, man. Just life in general, man. You know what I mean? And we built that bond. And like I said, it was just a matter of those dudes who run through a brick wall for me because they know that I really do genuinely care about them.
That's awesome.
That's the best way. And obviously the record reflects that, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously they trust you and respect you. So
absolutely. They bought in from day one, man. I mean, he'll tell you he was like one of the first guys that I trained, him and Tyson Proctor. Like, I mean, like, and it's only gotten even better, you know what I'm saying, the training, but harder too. So I put those guys through the same rigors, you know what I'm saying? 7 o'clock every morning. I did it on purpose in the morning too, so they wouldn't be hanging out all night for one. For two, we could get it in early and then they'll have the rest of their day. And I'm gonna be 100 with you. I was trying to get every kid on that team to quit. Every one of them. I was trying to break them down physically and mentally. And they kept on showing up. They kept on coming back. And I told them, I said, if you're going to survive these first 2 weeks, y'all going to be all right. They out there throwing up everywhere, man. Throwing up everywhere. passing out, getting back up, getting back in, man.
How do you run your practices? You run them old school or you one of those new school coaches?
No, I'm new school, man. So our practices, honestly, we only practice for an hour and a half, and we don't hit in practice ever.
And how to connect
ever.
They allow you to, I guess, is the thing now.
You can, but I mean, we don't have a lot of guys anyway.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's no
and it's limited now too.
Yep.
But just for us, it was just a matter of we'll teach you the correct way how to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And honestly, by Friday, dude, them dudes is ready to tear somebody's head off because they don't hit nobody in practice.
Exactly.
And it just kind of worked out for us. And I mean, them dudes would be flying around, man.
There you go.
Smacking cats, man.
So
what was the biggest adjustment for you going from being an assistant coach to the head coach? Like, what were some of the things that you had to learn as far as the differences between, working with certain position groups and then, in charge, you're in charge of the whole team. So what was kind of that adjustment for you like?
So I'll give you off the field stuff first.
Yep.
So that's like the biggest thing. It's just like dealing with like because you're in charge of everything. So you got to make sure whether it's fundraising, you know what I'm saying, uniforms, equipment, parents, just, dealing like with all of that stuff where I never had to deal with that stuff before being an assistant.
Right.
So that was like a eye opener, you know what I mean? And I learned a lot from it in that sense. And then as far as like on the coaching side of it, so I always been a defensive guy. Like I played defense in college.
Right.
Always coached the secondary. I was a D coordinator, so I was always a defensive guy, which was fine. And the guys that's on my staff, they're great too. My D coordinator, he was a former college defensive coordinator.
Okay.
So we worked good together. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there was no issues there. And then offensively, I brought in one of my guys who I had knew, you know what I'm saying, in the past. And it just kind of didn't work out, you know what I'm saying, like halfway through. So they was like, BC, hey, you got to take this over on offense. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, I have no idea what I'm doing offensively. I said, I know how to attack certain things, being a defensive person, you know what I mean? So they was like, we'll help you, you know what I'm saying? And you'll put your spin on it. So we had just lost a wife. And did some things that we shouldn't have done. And that's when we kind of had that talk. And they was like, yo, man, like we got a good growth. We can't waste it. And guess what, man? Like you got to make this right. So I was like, all right, let's do it. So I dug in. Those guys were great helping me out and making sure we utilized everything that we had. And we were more balanced. And we honestly, in Division 6, at the end of the year, we were the number one scoring team in Ohio.
Awesome.
Number one scoring team in Ohio. We averaged 46 points a game.
Yeah, definitely.
And we just spread the ball around. That was the thing. It was just like we were kind of focusing in on maybe one or two guys. Where I was like, now we're going to spread the wealth. I said, I'm righteous. So all y'all are going to touch the ball. And they did in different ways. And it was just tough for us to stop. So it was a matter of just spreading the ball around. It wasn't that we did anything different. Absolutely.
So then I guess that was going to lead me into my next question. To ask you more, do you see yourself as an offensive or defensive leaning guy as a coach? Because, that's one of the new things that people are talking about in the NFL as far as offensive and defensive coaches. Kind of answered it a little bit. So from there, like, you have any inspirations on the defensive side as far as coaches that you kind of look at, that you kind of watch, like in maybe college or NFL or anything like that?
Defensive guys, I would say, I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm old school. So I love Buddy Ryan because I'm an Eagles fan. I love Buddy Ryan and them defenses that he had with Jerome Brown and Reggie White, Smith Joyner, all those dudes. So definitely an old school guy. Newer school guy, I would say Coach Saban because he still coaches defense. He still coaches the DB.
Does an amazing job.
Definitely him. And then I'm gonna throw another one out there who he kind of got himself in some trouble. But I kind of took some things from him too, because one of my guys coached for him, and that was Mel Tucker when he was at Michigan State. My boy Jaron Duhart, he coached for him. So I was getting stuff from him when he was there, different defensive things and drills and stuff like that too. So I would definitely say some of those guys for sure.
So I kind of wanted to ask your take as well too, since we kind of talk about college a little bit. What is your current take on the climate of the NCAA right now, with the NIL, with the transfer portal? Like, how do you look at it? What do you think of it? And what do you think, like, if you had this in during your time playing college football, what do you think it would have been like at that point?
The first question, I mean, it's like the wild, wild west. It really is, though, man. So my boy that I was just telling you about, Jaron, he was at Michigan State, so he's at Ohio State now. He just called me 2 days ago.
Go
We were just
Buckeyes, go
talking.
Buckeyes, go Buckeyes.
Congrats,
Yes,
Hart.
yes, sir.
And he was just talking about it's like, because Ohio State had a lot of guys transfer.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
So he was like, BC, dude, they coming in the office like I need 400,000 or I'm transferring. So they was Coach Day was like, see you. So that's why all of those guys was out of there because they like, we ain't
paying y'all 400.
we ain't nah. Some of y'all don't even play.
Right.
Like, you're a 4 or 5 star guy, but you don't even play.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why he was just kind of like, fine,
least
see you.
play.
Go get it somewhere else. Right. So it's totally different in the sense too that even the guys that do play, like you got to re-recruit your guys every year.
Yeah.
And that's what all the colleges say. No matter if I go up to Toledo or whatever school, they like, Coach, we got to re-recruit our guys every year.
You seen UT quarterback won Baylor this year.
Exactly. Exactly.
Money here now.
So it's definitely a different ball game. If it was like that when we played, do I think it would have been anything different? Probably not. Because I mean, the schools make so much money off of you anyway. So I'm definitely for
jerseys and everything.
Right. So I'm definitely for the guys getting paid. I think it should be set up in a better way. Just because I mean, you 18 years old, and if you don't come from money, and they give you that much money, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. So I think they should have like a trust fund set up,
type of thing.
Exactly. Or even like incentive base. If you play this many snaps, you'll get this much. You make all league, you'll get this much, etc. So I just feel like don't just give a kid that came, you know what I'm saying, from nothing. This much
they
money.
Buying Cubans and every time you go to a game, you see them kids, they warming up with Cubans on, like
exactly.
like
crazy.
Exactly.
Crazy.
So it's just like I feel like a lot of the hunger is gone for some of the guys because that's what they wanted to go to the league for was to get the money. You know what I'm saying?
The money in college.
Now you getting the money in college, whereas like you'll see like a Marvin Harrison or cats like that, it ain't gonna affect him because he loved playing. He came from money. You know what I'm saying? And he was raised to be what he is anyway. So football is his thing. The money he don't even care about.
He's playing for love to game.
Right. And that's his approach. Like I was up there for their practices in the spring, and I mean the dude don't say shit. He should totally just worked his ass off. They doing the stalk blocking drill. I'm standing on the track. He almost took me out blocking Denzel Burke on the track. You know what I mean? And then go to one-on-ones and then tearing him up in one-on-ones too. Ain't saying nothing, just out there working, man.
Work
machine.
Out there working.
Brian Hartline does a good job of those, just the blocking, getting the receiver.
Yes.
That's
he's a great receiver coach. He's a great. He's probably one of the best.
He's a very, very above average receivers coach. He get all those dudes to buy in, and if you don't do those things, you won't play.
He does a great job recruiting as well.
Yes.
But
he's the main recruiter, really.
So he does an amazing job. Shout out to him. So pivoting off of that, I had a question for you. So like as a former defensive back, you like man coverage or zone? Like when you see like an opportunity to get a ball, like a turnover, like our pick, you want to be a man or you want to be in zone? Like because I know I'm a man-to-man guy. I love me some man-to-man.
Well, it depends on where we at on the field, the down, the distance, and the situation too. We obviously, because we got guys to do it, so we played a lot more man coverage, this year at Ottawa Hills, more than we've ever played before. Plus, we had the guys up front that could get pressure on the quarterback. Exactly. So it depends on
personnel.
3-4 or 4-3.
We run a 3-3-5.
Oh, I love
3-3-5.
I see you out there.
3-3-5. And we coming every time. Because we can't just sit back and we got undersized guys. So we have to take advantage of our speed and then we'll mix up the coverages. You know what I'm saying? Though we played a lot more man. We played press man like 90% of the time. Both of my corners made first team all district, first team all league. So, and they'll be back this year too. They'll be back. So
love watching good footwork.
Are you losing this year that you kind of?
We lose on offense. We lose both of our guards. We'll lose. We call him the W. He's like an H back, so it's like a fullback / tight end. He was damn good too. He's going to Davidson. He just committed to Davidson.
Congratulations.
I'm trying to think who else we're missing. It's somebody else. We missing two. Oh, we losing 2 guards and then our left tackle. I'm sorry, right tackle.
Got you.
So, and they'll be tough to replace, but I think if we get these other guys out, then we should be all right. And then we'll slide another guy into the W, man. The W is kind of like a Swiss Army knife. He was like our lead blocker. We run ISO.
Type of guy.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You can trap with him. He coming back across and ear hole in the cat.
Oh yeah,
sneak him out in the flat.
Gritty players.
Yeah, man.
And
he was a big boy. Jack was 6'4", 220. Man. So I mean, he was. He definitely stood out. He was the best player on the field.
Have a card out there, man.
Okay.
So we're gonna wrap this segment up for right now, but we got some bills to pay before we do that. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. Shout out to Black Lido, Village Academy, and Many Faces Podcast. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
Right back.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Coach. Yes, sir.
All right, y'all, we back. So we want to slide into today's NFL segment. We got a good slate today. We got the Chargers and the Bills. I know my guy Jay over here is ready to talk spicy. Then we got the Bengals and the Steelers as well. So we're going to get into that. We're going to start off with the Bengals and Steelers games. How do you guys feel about those games? How they going to turn out?
Sean, you go first if you want to go ahead and kick it off.
So with this Bengals Steelers game, it's a little weird because I think the line right now is at Bengals -3 at Pittsburgh. The Steelers have been struggling a lot. A lot of people have been questioning Tomlin. Does he still have the culture? There's been a lot of talk in the media as far as to, the George Pickens, if you guys saw that video, it's been that viral video of him not blocking and whatnot.
What's your take on that, first of all, before we go a little further?
I mean, I just think it's been a bad year. As far as I think, kind of when those things, when you kind of have those losing streaks that happen, the media kind of looks for a little bit of anything, when that, especially that one play with it being a standalone primetime game, that's going to stand out a lot. But, prediction wise, I think the Steelers get it done. I think, I don't think there's much of a drop off, from, Kenny Pickett to, whoever the Steelers are playing right now, Mason Rudolph.
Me.
I mean, we could go out there, run a couple rounds, you know what I mean? But I mean, at the end of the day, this is kind of like a kitchen sink game for Tomlin, as far as to, people are, there's a rumor today, which, never good, the day of a game about, the Steelers might, come out and try to trade Tomlin, which, I mean, I don't think that's happened. That's not really the Steelers' way, but I think the Steelers do enough to get it done tonight. I think Jake Browning got a little lucky last week, with those, with that game going into overtime. And the Vikings really should have won at the end of the day. But I think divisional game at home, Steelers get it done.
That's tough. Hold on before you get started with that. Tyler, I seen you said you got some agendas to push. Go ahead and comment on there and push them agendas.
Oh, yeah. I know that man's a Steelers fan. So I think, like you said, Sean, I agree with you. This is a kitchen sink game for Mike. For multiple reasons. One, he could be coaching for his job, not only his job just as a coach, but maybe with the Steelers. I don't see him just getting straight out fired. It also has a lot of playoff implications, in my opinion, as well too. The Steelers are 7-7, Bengals are 8-6. So with this game, if the Steelers win, Bengals lose, you put them at 8-7 both. You still got the Browns and the Ravens in there, but you have to win this game if you're the Steelers, if you still want to hopefully be in the playoffs.
Wild card.
So I think, in my opinion,
playoffs might be tough. But
I think it is going to be tough.
Even
with
the win, it might be tough. But
they're on a 3-game losing streak right now as well too. So I think there's a multitude of things that he kind of has to do to win this game. I'm hoping to see Mitch play a little bit better than what he's played in the last couple of
That's
weeks.
Don't hold your breath.
Yeah, but you have to pull a lot.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
it's Mason Rudolph today. Mitch is out.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
Mason
right.
Rudolph is starting
Who's
today.
gonna be starting?
next?
Yeah.
If he get,
So like I said, does it really make a difference between
Yeah,
Mason
like,
Rudolph and
gonna
Mitch
be
at the
in-
end of the day?
I mean,
Right.
maybe. I mean, we know that Rudolph has a little bit of experience back there, so I guess it's not you just throwing somebody back there that doesn't.
Mhm.
But this is part of the reason why they probably should have kept Josh Dobbs, is what we're seeing as well too, because this is rough. This is rough, and this is what happens when you don't draft quarterbacks.
Amen.
This is what
Yeah.
happens.
Amen.
Yeah.
And they got spoiled with Ben for so
Yeah,
long, man,
so
where
spoiled.
Yeah.
they should have drafted a quarterback a long time ago
Yep.
and just had him waiting. You know,
Yeah,
they could have
like
got a
Aaron
good
Rodgers.
second round. Right. They could have got a good second
Exactly.
round or a late first round
Yeah.
quarterback and just
Kind of built from
Hold
there.
him
just
into
kind
that.
of right and
Right.
just kind of built from them, but they just kind of
And we know,
waited too long.
And we know the Steelers too. Like, we know how the organization works. They're probably not going to get rid of Kenny after this year. We know they're probably not going to waste a first round pick on a quarterback.
Right.
So there's no hope, it seems like, in sight for the Steelers right now as far as what they're going to do to replace Ben, because I don't think they're going to have an answer for that this year, and I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback next year.
I think they had to draft a quarterback next year. There's a lot of quarterbacks in
Yeah,
this
I
draft.
think
They
there
can get a
are.
Jay Daniels. They can get a
I don't think they're going
Hey,
to.
I don't-
McCarthy-
don't
Mike-
put my
no,
boy over
McCarthy.
there with
I don't
that.
think they're getting a first round.
Pick my boy over there with that.
You think they're going to get a first round? Waste the first rounder on them?
I mean, they probably won't waste a first rounder. I mean, it is the most important position, and I don't
it
think
is,
Kenny's it. But
that's-
Right.
the Steelers also, I don't know. I can see them drafting
I-
offensive linemen.
Tico, who you got today?
Defense.
You know.
Oh, I'm also going. I guess I didn't say who I got. I'm going Bengals. I'm taking the
I'm going
Bengals
Bengals
as well,
as well.
Yeah.
Because I think that Jake Browning's about to go out here and be special.
too. Mhm.
I think he's going to be special.
Yeah.
I don't think it's luck.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bengals too. So one of my guys play for the Bengals,
Yeah,
and I
Tyson
talked
Anderson.
about him. Tyson,
Yep.
shout out to Tyson.
Yep.
I talked to him last week after the game. I'm like, T, what's up with this guy? He was like, Coach, man, he is not cocky, but super confident. He expect to do all of those things that he does when he goes out there. He was like, he got swag, Coach. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna ride with the Bengals today. I think
Yep.
they're gonna get it
all
done.
right.
Yep.
After I seen that video when he said, "Well, y'all, what do you say? Y'all shouldn't
So,
have
y'all
fucking cut
seen
me."
that fucking company? I like that.
That shit
bro.
had me turned.
Yeah.
Shit had me turned. I'm
So-
like, yeah, I like this guy.
Yeah.
You guys are all on the Bengals.
I'm taking Bengals.
All right, fuck it, Steelers Nation. We're riding with you guys. Steelers Nation, baby. Mike Tomlin, get it done.
Oh my God.
Get your seat game. I'm with you.
Oh my God.
And then we got the Chargers and the Bills. So I mean, I feel like that's real one-sided right now. But Easton Stick.
All right, man. So let me
Pull up with a stick?
Let me just
Look,
go ahead
yeah,
and
pull
say
up
what I
with
got
a
to
stick.
say. Real quick, man. Let me just go ahead and say what I got to say about this. I don't even have anything to say about the game. I just got a lot to say about the Chargers right now, man. Because as a Chargers fan,
Just let it out. Just let it
I'm
out.
just,
Yeah,
Just let it
I'm
out
just,
there.
I'm
Vent.
just disgusted with everything I see right now, man.
He's in Hill.
It's rough. Obviously, if I had to pick this game, I'm taking Buffalo. I
Obviously.
don't really think there's a question of that. Now I am going to take that plus 12. I love that spread there. So
Okay.
if you're listening to this right now, you want some free money, I feel like that plus 12 is going to be a good hit for that. But also the Chargers, man, I don't know what the organization is doing right now. I like the fact that we got rid of Staley. I think we did it a season too late. So this should have something that we should have been done. But then, we replaced him with Jeff Smith. So
It's not real confident in Gibb Smith right
special
there.
teams coach.
It's not real confident in our guy Gibb.
I don't
Yeah.
know how I'm feeling about this, and I think for the Chargers in general is they have a lot riding for this upcoming offseason. I feel like you got to figure out what you're going to do with the coaching situation that you have. Obviously, there's going to be some coaches out there. Well, possibly, you have Bill Belichick, you have Mike Tomlin. I like Ben Johnson from the Lions. I heard he wants to get paid $15 million. I know the Chargers aren't going to pay that, so he's probably automatically out of the question.
None
But
of those guys are coming, Jay.
I'm sorry. I mean, with Justin Herbert, it's actually it's a highly touted job.
It
The
is.
Chargers,
Yeah, it is.
it's not a bad job.
I
Yeah,
can't
it's
see
sometimes
Mike
not a bad
Tomlin
job.
going there. I can't see Tomlin.
I don't want
or
Tomlin.
Belichick.
I don't want Tomlin.
You
yet.
need you need
You need
an
an offensive guy there.
minded guy.
He needs
Yeah.
You know what
somebody.
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Eric
I think
Bieniemy.
if there's anybody that I would take in that position, I would want it to be
Eric
Bill
Bieniemy.
Belichick. Well, if I had to pick a defensive guy,
Defensive guy.
if I
Okay.
had to take a defensive guy, I would take Bill. Other than that, I don't want anybody else to come in that's a defensive leaning guy. I want somebody that's going to be there that can be able to work hand in hand with Justin and get him through this transition that he's been having. Because right now it's just been rough, and we've been wasting his talent. He's been on this rookie deal, and now we have to kick in and pay the guy. So a lot of the talent that we have right now, or
Yeah.
so-called talent that we have right now, is not going to be around. Get rid of Austin Eckler. The guy stinks. The guy stinks.
Does he speak or the O line stink?
He stinks.
I mean, this whole roster stinks, if we're being honest.
but
But
this is a roster that everyone told me
garbage.
going into this year that this was good.
I mean, on paper, it looks great, but I mean, you got to still play.
I told y'all
You
what
gotta
it
go
was.
get it
Play.
done.
I told y'all what it was.
Y'all asking for all this
I
money and
told
shit in the
y'all.
offseason. You
I
talking
told
about
y'all.
I want to get paid. You gotta perform. Shit.
I mean, our best players are always hurt. Derwin James always hurt. Osa stays hurt.
Keenan been hurt too.
Yeah,
Alex.
Keenan's
Yeah,
been hurt.
yeah.
Mike's hurt. You know what I mean? Obviously, Austin stays
Some
hurt.
big blows.
And now this is the first year with Justin Herbert is missed significant time as well
Right.
too. And I'm
Still
glad
balling,
that
though.
I'm glad that he's out so people can finally see. Like I
How
said,
bad y'all are.
exactly.
All right, we gonna move because my boy's over here. He's in his feelings right now.
We just gotta get it out.
Yeah, that
Bill
shit.
definitely gonna get
Thanks
it
for-
done.
thanks for listening,
Yeah,
viewers.
trending in the
That
right
shit,
direction.
that shit was on your
Appreciate
chest,
the support
wasn't it?
for that
That
one.
shit, look, like
was
you
good
relieved
now.
now.
Yeah, Bills for sure.
So we gonna
There we
move to
go.
the Sunday games, man. I want to move to that Colts and Falcons game. I feel like that's gonna be a pretty decent matchup. I mean, the Colts rolling right now. They got a good defense. I love what they're doing out there.
It's
Taylor will
Gardner
be back
Minshew.
too.
Oh, yep.
yeah, I see
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor's
Gardner Minshew, Hope, and
why can I think of the receiver name?
Michael Pittman.
Pittman.
Yeah,
Jr.
is Pittman gonna be
Yeah.
playing this week? Or is he still concussion protocol?
No, he's actually playing, which is
Yeah.
really weird that he passed concussion protocol in the 1 week,
I know,
which they don't
right?
really do
That's
that.
how they do
But
it. They do the 4
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
I say 4 days, as long as you can do a little test. You feel me? They gonna get your ass back out
I'm
there,
kinda
especially if
shocked
you
about
catching 7, 8 balls a game. You gonna
Right.
get your ass back out there.
back out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gonna get your ass- he almost came back in that game if he ain't look all funny.
Where's the where's that game at? Isn't it
it's in Atlanta. Yep.
So, I'm really not a fan.
Desmond the starter?
Nope. Taylor Heineke's back in, baby.
Heineke
I
back.
like
He not bad, man.
I like Heineke.
He's solid.
I like Heineke.
He is solid.
I like him when he played for Washington, man. We
Yeah,
used to,
he's-
whoop their ass.
He a little bit of juice.
Yeah, but he does make them big plays. Like he's not scared of the
Right.
moment. Like
Yeah.
so, like that's what you
Yeah,
need.
I
Like if you
Mhm.
like in that position right now, you need somebody that's gonna be like, man, fuck this shit.
I
We
think
got to go out here
Falcons
and
right
win.
now-
Like
Right.
we got to go out here and
No
win.
risking, no biscuit,
Yeah,
man.
feel me?
You got to.
Like
The Falcons right now,
they won the division.
same thing. They got a kitchen game. I feel like for them as well too right now for the Falcons.
And
'Cause-
Yeah.
for real,
Yeah, playoff implications.
Hair
Again.
coach terrible.
They're in the worst division in the NFL right now. But playoff
Bucks are still winning that
right
division,
now.
by the way.
Fire the head coach.
Possible. He won Bucks. What is it? Bucks, Saints, and Falcons. You guys all tied right now.
Right now, the Bucks have the tiebreaker in first right now. So
Oscar class.
Okay. Yeah,
Oscar
that is
Oscar
really
class.
yes.
Over
But
there.
I don't know, man. I think I'm going with the Colts for that game.
I'm going with the Colts.
I think the Falcons are going to be in a better position. I think anybody outside of Desmond Ridder gives them the best chance to win. It's all about Arthur Smith and what he's going to do with those weapons, though. Is he going to use Bijan right? Is he going to use Kyle
Man.
Pitts? Is he going to use any of those weapons that he has, or is he going
Yeah.
to be letting Bijan block for Cardell Patterson again? Like, what the hell?
Hate it. Hate it.
I don't
Why
know.
you have 3 running backs?
Man, the thing.
3? Don't
I mean, they got-
Why did
motherfuckers
you
like
draft-
still
why did you
good.
draft Bijan and you had Tyler?
Oh,
Algier?
and he was
Yeah,
Dawson Yard
he was good,
Dawson
yes.
Yard rusher the
You
year
have no
before.
idea.
Like,
And
come on in.
Yeah.
Or if you draft him, at least use him right.
Utilize him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yep, he is. He
John
really is.
yeah,
No,
he's
he really,
special, man.
really is,
Use
man.
the power plays for Algier. Use if you want to do
And
inside zone.
He's a 3-down back though.
Right, 'cause you can throw it to him,
That's
too.
what I'm saying.
Like,
He's a 3-down back.
use
So
the
Yes.
motherfucker. You got weapons over there. I mean, Desmond Ritter wasn't getting it to him, but I mean,
yeah,
So
what happened?
I think I'll take the Falcons in this game.
taking a Falcon.
And I swear to God, I bet the Falcons every week. And every week the Falcons, it is always a 3-point game. It's always going to be weird. But I think at the end of the day, it's such not like a significant upgrade, but I think the main thing was Desmond Ritter was just turning the ball over.
terrible.
I mean, he had
Yes.
one of the worst interceptions you'll ever see
Right.
in that Panthers game last week. And this is another situation where we got another coach coaching for his job.
Right.
They're coaching for a playoff spot.
I
They're
think-
at home. I just think if they, could protect the ball, run that ball a little bit. I mean, this Falcons team, they do have talent.
They do.
They do have
Absolutely.
talent. And at the end of the day, it's really just, they got to play ball control. I think Gardner Minshew and Shane Steichen have done a really good job, as far as you have to think about, a couple weeks ago or, earlier in the year, Anthony Richardson, going down and, they
Right.
left his coach team for dead. So,
Yeah.
it's really impressive. But I think it's just a little bit of a letdown spot, for them. They don't necessarily need this game. And, the Falcons are playing for their lives. So,
It's true.
Yeah, I think
I'm going to ride with
this.
Desmond Ritter, I'm going to ride with Arthur Smith again. I don't like it, but I didn't.
I think
So-
the Colts are
Colts
in
will get it.
playoff position as well too.
Yeah,
Are
they
are
Yeah.
they,
Colts will
They
be-
rolling, boy.
are they
rolling.
they're second in the division right now behind Jacksonville, though, right?
What
is that,
No, I
AFC
think they're
South?
ahead.
Are they in
The
front?
Colts-
They're in a wild card position right
They're
now.
wild card.
The Jaguars are still.
Oh, no, they're both 8-6.
Oh, yeah,
They're
yeah.
both 8-6. So they win today because what? Yeah.
So-
and Trevor Lawrence playing today.
No,
Or tomorrow,
he'll be
right?
traveling with the team. I think he
Okay.
still has to pass custom protocol.
So-
But the line
Okay.
moved a little bit,
So
so I
that's
think
a
he
big,
will play.
this is a big game for the coach too. Then at that point, so,
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a huge
Yeah.
game for both of them.
Exactly.
So we got a couple of good games this week, I guess. When we're really looking at it, what's another one that you guys are excited about?
Y'all
this
know
week?
what time it is. You know what time it is. You know what fucking time
You know
it is.
what?
I'm
Oh
gonna skip
my
past all them
God.
other weak
Oh
ass
my
1 o'clock
God.
games.
Well, hold on, wait.
Vikings,
We got a
Lions.
big one.
We'll skip
We got a
past
big
that
one. Hold
shit.
on. We
What?
got
Who?
oh no, wait,
Oh,
no,
yeah. You know what's coming at 4 o'clock? Big Texas is playing at 4:25
Yeah.
in Miami
Dolphins.
against them
Yeah.
Dolphins.
Bye bye.
Yeah, all right.
All
right.
Well, the
Show me.
question is Tyreek playing
That's the big
first?
question.
Tyreek playing.
Yeah.
He is playing.
He will be
Oh,
playing.
sex bye bye.
He didn't play last
sex
week just
bye-bye.
for this game.
Sex bye bye.
Like he
So-
played, but like it wasn't.
Yeah.
So I'm an
Tua.
Eagles fan, but I'm definitely gonna take the Dolphins. And the reason I say that is
Speed.
because
It's
Dallas
Bills.
don't play good on the road.
They don't.
If they were in Dallas,
take
I'm
that.
taking
I'll
them
take
in
Dallas.
I
Dallas.
agree with that.
I'm taking them
I
in
would too.
Dallas
Yep.
on the road, and it's a big game. I mean, it's that time of the year where
Yeah.
Dak. I mean, you know,
He starts
Gotta
showing
show
his
up.
true
he
colors.
starts showing
Yeah.
his true colors.
Yeah.
He
But,
really do, man.
Yeah.
I think the edge on this game for us is that we're gonna score right with them because their defense is not that. To me, their defensive line is amazing, but
Mhm.
after that, it's just like like
it gets
Jalen Ramsey in the secondary.
It
But
gets
it's
kind of
like
rough. I mean, I think.
they're not stopping us from scoring.
So, what do you think? This is gonna be a high scoring game?
Yes.
I don't think y'all gonna stop them from scoring.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So we both gonna be two scoring
Yeah.
motherfuckers. It's
So,
gonna be who don't
yeah.
turn the ball over. And I
Yeah.
think Tua, we gonna get to Tua more than they get to Dak.
No, I think Dak's gonna have a fuck up before Tua does. In my opinion.
Bro, Dak ain't turned the ball. Bro, Dak got the less turnovers in the
Let's
league
go
right
historic.
Hey, you on some bullshit. We talking about right now. motherfucker. We talking about
Yeah.
this year. You talking about some other shit right now. We talking about right
I'm
now.
talking about historically. We know what Dak's gonna do.
But historically,
Dak
he's
does.
already been at like 18 picks already
No,
right
you're
now.
right.
So like
You're right.
historically, he's like on a different
Right.
trajectory right now.
Right.
So
And
it's
I
like,
mean,
can I say
I
he's playing
say-
the same
No, I think Dak's in my opinion. I think he's like
in the MVP race?
I think
Like
he's
I know
second,
they gonna say
second,
that.
third.
Yeah, he in there.
Third.
I already
He in
knew he's
there.
coming with that.
He in there.
But I
Hey, Jay is
think,
secret Dallas fan. I just want y'all to know that.
Hey,
He be hating on the low,
if
but
I drop that Chargers flag, which is still a possibility,
Oh.
he's gonna come to Big Texas.
it may be Texas.
Look.
Oh,
We gotta say it on the podcast.
It's on
That's on record. That's on record.
That's on record. Look,
Look. Who the Eagles got this week?
The Eagles got the Giants Monday.
Giants.
Oh, yeah, y'all got the Giants twice.
We got
Yeah,
them
they got
twice.
twice, yeah.
I'm not sure if we home or away this first
Yeah.
one, but I mean, honestly, I'm worried about my boys. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What do you think the issue's been with the Eagles lately, Coach?
Honestly, I mean, you got to think. After last year, we lost our offensive coordinator
Yeah,
and
yeah.
our defensive coordinator.
Yep.
Yeah.
And both of these guys, this is their first time being offensive and defensive
Yeah.
coordinators.
Mhm.
So
well, you guys got Matt Patricia now.
Now we got
Yeah, I saw
Patricia
that.
now,
Yeah.
which we were a little bit better defensively, although
Yeah.
we didn't
I was
get off the
shocked about
field
that.
at the end of the game.
I was shocked
Yeah.
about
You know what I mean? We had a chance.
Mhm.
I think those guys were just a little bit in over their head offensively. I mean, we got so many weapons and we not taking advantage of them. You know what I mean? And it
Yeah.
was just like no
Mhm.
RPOs this year. That's what made us dynamic last year. That's what
Running the ball
made
with
Jalen.
But do you
Exactly.
But do you think that came with Jalen Hurts contract? Now you don't
I
want
just
him to
think
run
it's
as much. You
cohesiveness.
not want him to get hurt. I think like that plays a
I
part
mean,
into it a little bit.
It's a big
Maybe,
quarterback,
but he
though.
got hurt early in the year too. So I
Yeah.
don't know if that kind of
Right.
You know
I think he's a
what
little
I'm saying?
healthier now.
played in the
Yeah, I think he
factor.
is healthier now too.
Man,
but I
that's a
think-
big ass dude, man.
He is.
He ain't like that
Yes.
Tyler Heineke side. I'm a
Right.
big motherfucker.
Right, and he's squat 600 pounds.
Come
Yeah,
on, man.
think
You know
he's
what I mean?
He's taking those hits that those guys like Taylor Heineke's not taking. You know
But
what I mean, like,
he also that motherfucker gonna slide or
they're
he
using
gonna
him in that
fumble.
power.
Yeah.
They're using him in that power run. They use him in a lot of different
Right.
ways. And a lot of
They use him
quarterbacks.
like how Lamar was getting used, like his
Lamar
first 2
somewhat,
years.
and now I think the closest person that you can say now is Josh Allen. That kind of gets used in that
Same,
way.
man.
You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
where they're taking those hits and things
Right.
like that. And I
You
don't-
just gotta be smart about it. Like I said, I mean, no RPOs this year.
Right.
It's just straight runs
Yeah.
now, where it's just like give them
He
that
great,
option.
yeah.
You know, we reading, you know what I'm saying, that
Right.
conflict defender. If
Yeah.
he's coming,
Yeah.
then we throwing it.
Running
Vice
backs.
versa. We do, but we don't utilize our backs either.
Yeah.
Though. I mean, DeAndre is obviously
He's
solid,
a beast.
but we don't get him involved in the pass game
Nope.
either because
He
he'll
can
catch.
catch out of the.
can do a lot of
catch out
things,
the-
though.
Amen.
Yeah.
And those other guys are Gainwell is solid, Boston, all those
Yeah.
guys are solid. I just feel like we not utilizing those guys.
Yep.
We get pass happy, and then we run it when it's third and long or
Yeah.
third, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Predict, and it's
Yeah.
like, nah, man, we got to keep the defense off balance, and we got to stay on schedule. That was why we were so good last year. We stayed ahead of the stakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you don't know what we gonna
Yep.
do. You know what I mean?
And I think
But-
now it's like we starting to see that, with Sirianni not calling the plays,
Yeah.
it kind of messes you up a little bit because now
Absolutely.
you're like, what are you kind of doing over there right now?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you got
So I
to keep the
think-
guys
yeah.
motivated or something.
So I think
Definitely.
the biggest issue with the Eagles is I think it's just a lack of creativity on the offensive end. I
Yes.
mean, you even saw, on the Manning cast for that Monday night game, if Christian McCaffrey's sitting on his couch calling out the plays, I mean, what do you think these
Yeah, like that
NFL,
motherfuckers are watching
we need NFL
film.
defensive
They
coordinators
watch 20
and-
hours of film on that shit. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
And I just want to point out last week I did kind of correctly. I asked the question in the pod last week: do you trust Jalen Hurts with the ball in his hands?
fuck your shit, Sean.
The last 2 minutes in the game, and then he kind of threw that interception. But
So,
I think the biggest thing is, like you said, it's all about game script. I think
right.
I think the defense hasn't been, as prominent as it was last year. You guys have lost a couple of players, and I think, when you get in that game script, you guys are when the Eagles are best, they're running the football,
Amen.
They're play action pass,
Play actions.
they're playing with the lead,
Yep.
they're doing the tush push, but I think when you kind of get behind like that, and I think Jalen Hurts is still a good quarterback. I think people have been going a little bit too far with the
Right.
whole Jalen Hurts criticism, but
Definitely.
I think the issue is, when you guys are, playing from behind like that, there's not the offensive creativity to where we can, confidently drive down the field. We can hit Devontae, Smith on an hour. Or we can do an AJ Brown,
Right.
go route. I think there's just that lack of creativity. But, I think at the end of the day, the Eagles, they got some issues. They got to figure out.
definitely.
They benefited from an easier schedule, but they got to figure it out before the playoffs.
Yeah,
not
it's
looking
time.
too good.
It's time to do some soul searching there.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, our offense is elementary. I mean, we
Yeah.
can sit there and call
Yeah.
out, what they're gonna do, and those guys getting paid millions of dollars to watch tape and the
Exactly.
Yeah.
scout and
Yeah.
the study.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
just imagine, how they got it broken
And like
down.
you just said, like how
Yeah.
Christian just was able to call it out, that shows you how much the 49ers are watching them and breaking them
Absolutely.
down at that point. So
But-
it kind of tells you a little bit about everything. So
Absolutely,
It's
it'll definitely be, like I said, gut check time, and we'll see with those veterans, because it's a good group of veterans around them. You know what I'm saying? Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, all those guys are good locker room guys. So now we're gonna see if they can pull these guys together. But if you watching the games, like
Yeah.
if you look at Jalen Hurts' body language, it's terrible.
it is.
Yeah.
He looked like he's
It is.
sad.
Sad
out
about
there,
that.
man.
He look like
He
just
looks like
always
he's
does.
sad.
Like,
So it's just like we got to get something figured out, man. Because honestly, the way that they going, I don't think we're gonna win another game, man.
but
Nah,
this
I
how
mean-
my fault.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
But this how I feel about y'all. I feel like every year it's like y'all get into this position where y'all start doubting yourselves. And I feel like y'all thrive in these moments because it's like everybody doubting y'all, and y'all fucking sneaking and get to the Super Bowl. It's like y'all was just struggling before the last 2 games of the season. Y'all was just struggling,
Right.
but then y'all just sneak y'all ass through the playoffs. Nobody's saying that. They're like it's getting better every week, and then they go to the Super Bowl.
But that's the thing, though. It's just like last year we was on that course to do that. This year
Yeah.
we did it early,
Yeah,
and now we backtrack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Last
Yeah.
year we started off a little bit slower,
Yeah.
then we got it rolling.
Exploded.
Yeah.
Right, and now it's like we trending
Like
in the wrong
opposite.
direction
Yeah.
at the
Kinda
wrong
It's
time.
like the
Yeah.
49ers right now. The 49ers started rolling at
Yes.
the right time right now. And right now, I mean, this is kind of one of the things that we want to talk about
Yeah,
is who the
let's talk
best
about
team in the NFL is.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I think
49ers by
it
far.
has to be San Fran right
Yeah.
now. So if we're talking about any
I
team,
want to see some friends.
Nobody.
I don't think
does.
nobody does, but I think like how we talked about as far as the NFC, AFC, I think we kind of have definitive who we know in the NFC.
The
I
AFC is
think
toss-up.
AFC is a toss up. I think the NFC, is going to be the 49ers. And if Dallas were to play the 49ers at home, that's kind of a different game. But we know if Dallas has to go to San Francisco,
Which they gonna have
they're
to.
probably going to have to.
They gonna have
Yeah,
to.
so that's kind of where it gets rough at.
We're
And
praying for a loss.
it's rough, man. It's rough. I think right now, if I had to say, I'm taking the 49ers as the best team in the NFL, who
For
I think
sure.
are going to get to the Super Bowl.
Sure.
I think they would have to be my Super Bowl favorite right now.
Yeah,
I think they're just rolling on as long as they stay healthy. I think they're
yeah.
Shit,
I mean,
Definitely
weapons.
health.
Yeah.
Health is definitely a key too.
And then I think in the AFC, as far as right now, you got such a toss up right now, which is some of the things we want to talk about. You got the Chiefs who are kind of, and
Trash.
I don't want to say trash, man, but it is.
They thrive in these moments too, like being
do.
ass, and then
They do.
everybody
And-
doubting
but-
them, and then Patrick
Mhm.
Mahomes do
So
a
what
damn
do you-
magic trick.
So what do you guys think right now as far as the Chiefs? Do you think the dynasty is kind of coming to an end, or
Well, he got it.
No.
But
No.
I don't
No.
think so because you got Patty. So the
Right.
dynasty never coming to an end.
right? It's only
But
got him.
they put too many balls on the ground, man.
Right.
'Cause I mean, you got to think even
Yes,
against us,
yes.
if that cat catch the ball against us, that's ball game.
Exactly.
Yep.
And now it's just
Exactly.
changed the whole narrative. So
Marquez
it's just like
Valdez-Scantling.
you don't have that go-to guy. I mean, obviously Kelsey, but you can double team him, right?
Yeah,
You know the
that's-
other
that's what
cat's
you
not
going
gonna
for.
catch the ball. So that's the thing. But you can't never doubt Patty because he's a
Yeah,
bad boy,
Like Tom
man.
Brady, man.
Right.
Yes.
Throw the ball to Rasheed Rice if you fucking listening to this. Jesus Christ. Get him Rasheed Rice 30
Gotta
fucking
start
touches
getting
a game.
Rasheed Rice.
Give him the ball
Yeah.
every fucking
Gotta
play.
start getting the ball. Him and Pacheco should be the two.
They should
and
touch
Kelsey.
the ball every
Yeah, it should be a
every
big three.
possession.
That should be a
For
big
sure.
three.
Yeah.
But like, so who do you guys see coming out of the AFC right now? If you had to take a selection, like who do you
Super Bowl
guys like?
matchup.
So-
Monday, I mean, sorry.
Or is first, so are we talking about the Monday matchup? Or are you
No,
talking
I think
about
that's gonna be the
who do you-
Super Bowl.
Who do you
Okay.
think? Like, who do you think is going to come out of the AFC? We think we are kind of like.
yeah.
You think the 49ers are NFC. So who do you think is the AFC?
You know, honestly, I'm gonna go kind of a not hot take, but a little bit of a hot take.
Let me hear.
I still think the
Let's
best
get
bet. I still think the best bet is Chiefs.
Ooh.
You know, I think the Ravens
Okay.
right now. They're still. I think the Ravens are a really good team, and you know, Lamar Jackson's playing at an MVP level, obviously. And I actually like them a little bit more than the 49ers than a lot of other people do for that Monday matchup.
Yeah.
But I think there's just a couple issues with the Ravens. Late in games, it's really hard for them to close out games. You know, I think, you know, you've always looked, you know, kind of, you know, towards when the, you know, year gets to an end, you know, that team kind of, you know, falls apart a little bit. You know,
Right.
they've been, you know, also dealing with their fair share of injuries. You know,
Right.
Keaton Mitchell,
Definitely.
you know, just went down,
That's
you know, with
huge.
that season ending injury.
Yeah.
And I think the Chiefs, I think people are, I mean, I know the Chiefs haven't been looking as sharp, you know, as they have in the past, but they're still top 10 in defense. You know, they're still, you know, top 5. They're still a top 5 offense in yards per play.
Absolutely.
You know, and I still think at the end of the day, you still got to trust, you know, Andy Reid,
TT.
you know, Patrick Mahomes. And I think,
There
you know,
you go.
Rasheed Rice, you know, I think he's really come on, you know, as far as to, you know, at least that option, you know, and they have the ground game, you know, as far as the Pacheco goes. So, you know, I think, you know, while the Ravens have looked like the most, you know, kind of dominant team in the AFC, you know, it's still hard for me to go against that Chiefs team.
Definitely.
Okay.
I mean, Ravens is definitely the best team in the AFC right now, but I'm gonna go wild card right here. And
Ooh.
if they get in, though, nobody want to play them in the AFC, and we
Ooh.
already talked about them. The Bills.
The Bills.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't say
Like,
that 'cause
that's
they
a
whoop their
wild-
ass.
Sean, Josh Allen,
Yes.
that's his guy.
It is whoop
That's
their
his
ass,
guy.
though.
But that's
mean,
what I'm
that's
saying.
what
Like, nobody in the AFC want to
No,
play.
But the crazy thing about the Bills, they switched their whole game plan against. I said, "Where the fuck James Cook started?" I
You know what
said, "Bro,
happened?
what?
New offensive coordinator.
James
Yes.
Cook, bro?
Offensive
Like,
coordinator.
New OC.
I'm
OC.
like,
Yeah.
when did they start running the ball this much?
That's
That's
yeah.
what they needed to do.
That's what
what
the
they've always
problem
been.
was
But y'all gonna
before.
wait till y'all play us? Y'all gonna
Right.
wait till y'all play us to do it?
But honestly,
That shit
but
was
honestly,
crazy.
they saw what we didn't do against y'all enough because we had a little bit of success running the ball against y'all. We just stopped doing it. Like, well, shit, we just
Might
gonna
as well
keep
keep
running.
doing it.
Might as well
Yeah.
keep doing it.
Because we using their safeties as linebackers. So when them
Right.
linemen coming up, they getting washed.
Yes.
Them linemen coming to that second level, they getting washed. So
Yes.
that's like,
Mhm.
I think Dan Quinn gonna see that and he gonna be like, okay, motherfucker, when we play y'all again, we gonna put them linebackers. We ain't
They
gonna
gonna
have to
change
do
it
that
up.
this time.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
Our defense is all speed. That's why we get so many
Right.
turnovers and
Yeah.
picks because we have safeties at linebacker. They're playing like
But in the playoffs, though, it's
Ain't
all
gonna
about
work.
running
it
that
ain't gonna
football.
work. Yeah,
You
it's
got
gonna
to
be
be able to
cold
stop the
too.
right.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
cold.
Yeah,
so it's gonna be
exactly.
like you gotta run up. So I think Dan Quinn gonna catch that after that game. I think he gonna be like, okay, we gonna switch this shit out and figure it out. So I think he's gonna do a good job doing that.
We'll see.
Can't trust those bum whiteouts.
Talking about the Bills or the Ravens.
I think he's talking about the Ravens as well.
Yeah,
But no.
man.
He said keep down Lamar, so I think he's talking about the Bills in that
Yeah,
position.
Lamar a bad boy.
I think
Yeah.
Lamar's a
He just gotta stay
yeah.
healthy, man. That's the only
thing.
thing with him.
With them,
I think he been doing good this year.
Yeah.
Like as far as
He's a
slide,
baller.
got a
He
ball.
falls.
Yeah.
He doesn't even slide. He just falls down, which is
He
smart.
doing good
Right.
staying in the
Smart.
pocket too, though. Like he's
Yeah.
not trying to run anymore unless he has to. Like they're not doing a lot of cube like re-ops and stuff. Like he's doing
Right.
a good job throwing the ball.
Yeah,
this year.
I
Like,
think
he
he's
buying
way better.
time with his legs and
Yeah.
then getting the ball
Yep.
downfield.
Yeah.
You can see
If
him
he run
maturing.
a little bit outside the tackles or whatever, then he'll just sit back there, pat his
Right.
feet. He looking. He ain't got nothing out of bounds or run out of. Like he just looks
Yeah,
way
you
better.
can see him evolve.
I got-
poised.
So I think in the AFC it's rough, man, because I got 3 teams that I like.
Offense.
Dolphins are one of them. The Dolphins are one of them. If the Dolphins are healthy, I like the
They're the
Dolphins.
Cowboys of the AFC.
I like the Bills and I like the Chiefs, but I
Yeah.
think the Dolphins.
But
right
that's what
now-
I'm saying. Can their
You just threw
game
out 3 teams
travel
right there, Jay.
in
You
the
gotta pick
cold?
one of them.
Dolphins.
I think
You
the
know what I'm
Dolphins are
saying?
happy to win.
Can the Dolphins
Okay.
travel
The
in the
thing-
cold?
Yeah, and the thing
yeah,
about the Dolphins is too, they do a lot of pre-reads. So like we
They
got
do.
a whole season of film on y'all.
But
That's why the Jets
they
well,
can't stop it though.
But in the playoffs, this is different because we're
It
only
is.
focusing on you.
It is.
Because we might
It
not make
is.
it again after this. So
Right.
we're not worried about the next
Right.
game. We're worried about right now. You want to do all these screens and shit. That shit is
I
not
think
about to
with
be
that
working.
speed, man, it's just so rough. It's worked.
It's
It's
worked.
worked. And I'm not even
but-
a Dolphins fan.
but
I don't
yeah,
like
but
Tua.
like-
but it's like
the same thing with the Cowboys though. Dak was going crazy. Like shit works
Yeah.
during the regular
Yeah.
season. Shit works.
It
Yeah.
does. It does.
Because like motherfuckers
does.
giving their full effort,
Right.
but
And you
playoff.
got 17 weeks of tape. To look
Yeah,
back.
and then we got
Exactly.
incentives
Nah,
playing. We got
you know,
playoffs
playoffs.
incentives.
You
We
do.
got Super Bowl incentives. Like
Right.
motherfuckers
I
is
think
playing for they livelihood.
if the Dolphins win their division, which is it's rough because they got y'all. I think they have a tough game next week as well too. If I'm not mistaken, who do they play next week? See, they got the Cowboys. They play the Ravens, and then they got the Bills.
Oh yeah, they got a tough.
They got a
one.
tough opponent. Yeah. So
Good luck.
and that last
Bars.
game could be that last
Where are
game.
those games at?
So they play the Ravens on the road. They got to
At
go
the
to
bank.
Baltimore,
Gotta go to the bank.
and then the Bills coming to town in Miami.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I think that last game, that Bills, that could be a potential divisional like game. Like
Yeah.
who gets the divisional spot in that playoffs. So it's rough. They got a rough path though.
So I wanted to ask you guys a question. I want to start with you, Cole. So
All right, let's get
I
it.
know, everyone, obviously right now the Niners are kind of the class in the NFL. Who do you think is their biggest competition in the NFC? And you can go with the Cowboys if you want to, but who do you think right now, if you had to line them up, has the best chance right now against the Cowboys?
See, I wouldn't say that's because they're gonna run the ball over it. They got too many weapons for us right now. I mean, Dan Quinn hasn't adjusted to it from the last game I seen, but as far as NFC goes,
I got a hot take.
I would
I
have
got
to
a hot
say.
take. I think me might have the
honestly,
same one. I think me might have the same one.
I can't say. I was gonna say the Eagles, like far as like matching up player wise, but that's a good question, Sean.
All right,
Damn.
you want to all right on the count
No.
of three.
I'm gonna let you
Yeah.
go.
Let's say who we think it is. 1, 2, 3.
Rams. Yeah.
But you know what?
Yes, sir.
It's always hard
Yes,
to
sir.
beat somebody 3 times.
It is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They in the
it is.
same division.
Yeah, they are.
They know them inside and out, and they kind
Yeah.
of sneaky been playing
Yeah.
good
They have.
Yeah.
at the end of the season.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be like
That wouldn't be a surprise.
that wouldn't be.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I mean?
like it.
Yeah. So Jay, why do you like the Rams?
Man, I think Sean McVay got the boys
They
rolling.
cooking, though.
They are
Yeah.
cooking at the right time.
No, they're scoring.
Yeah.
I think they've done a great job with the rebuild. And they've accelerated a lot faster than what people thought they were going to do.
Shout out
They
Big Ben,
drafted
man.
they
That's
drafted
mine.
really, really well.
Mhm.
They got Puka. They got Kyron Williams now.
Mhm.
The defense, they got some guys stepping up outside of just Aaron Donald with those young guys on that side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Shout
Matt
out
Stafford
rookies.
is healthy again this year, so he's starting
Yeah.
to look really good.
Yep.
Cooper Cup.
As well too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I like what the Rams are doing right now,
Tutu.
and they're Tutu is still doing well, and like
Mhm.
I mean, obviously,
I mean, even
Sean-
Demarcus Robinson's fucking catching touchdowns.
That's the thing is like I think a lot of people
Sean
forget it.
McVay, man.
And so, yeah, but say Sean
Shout out
McVay,
to
man,
Tay.
like he's a really good coach.
He is. He's
Yeah.
a good offensive
Yeah,
mind.
he's
Yeah.
a great offensive mind, and I'm glad he didn't take that money from Amazon and decided to stay with the Rams because
Yeah.
it's a blessing, man. It's
Yeah,
really good. I think, but I do think the Rams, if anybody has their number, I think with him coming from that Shanahan tree and
Yeah.
everything of that nature, I think he gives them the best shot right now.
That's crazy.
And I think it's one that a lot of people aren't looking at right now to kind of see. I don't think anybody else in the NFC, in my opinion, would be able to really compete with the 49ers.
Mhm.
I mean, what the Seahawks are out of the competition at this point, right?
Yeah.
So let's see who else.
Tampa
right now.
Buccaneers. I'm just kidding.
Nah. I mean, honestly, I feel like the way that how bad that they beat us up, if we did play them again,
Yeah.
I would hope that they would take it personal and play with a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah.
So you
And
would
then
think-
we would have a chance. You
'Cause I
know what I
don't-
mean? I would hope. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
You would
I don't know if it's gonna happen,
Yeah.
but I mean, they came in our
They-
crib and I mean, they
Same.
punched us in the mouth, man.
Yeah.
I don't
They
see
did.
the Lions either.
They put built the ass to us.
You know what? I kind of like the Lions more than a little bit of others.
On the road though.
Alright,
'Cause
yeah.
they had to go to 49ers.
Lions
Yeah,
is
they
gonna
don't
be
have to go to the
Lions.
49ers, but I mean, I think that team is
You
kind
guys
of.
got them too, don't you?
Yep.
Did they do last
Yeah,
game of
New
the
Year's.
year?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh no, second game. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's next week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
Dolphins, Lions, and then I forget what
The risk is the Commanders.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think the Lions are. I think the Lions are a little bit more built, for that playoff run. I mean, you got to look as far as they're running. I mean, they are running. I mean, they're running the ball really well. I mean, they got David Montgomery, Jameer Gibbs is really coming on. These past couple of weeks.
They got Jameson Williams rolling out
they got
now.
yeah,
Deep in.
and then as far as to Sam Laporte, the rookie's been having. I mean, he's actually been having like a
Balling. I think
historic,
it's historical
tight.
end season.
Yeah.
Lions
for
are
sure.
the Lions.
Yeah, so he's having a historically good season as far as the tight end goes. You got
He's a
Mount
beast.
Ron St. Brown. He's kind of been playing at that all pro level.
Absolutely.
I think the biggest question mark is obviously Jared Goff. especially being outside. But, I do think, they have the explosive offense. They can't keep up with the team as the 49ers,
Right.
if they are keeping, hold of the ball. So, while, it is tough to trust, these Lions on the road, I think as far as to, I think, we mentioned the Rams as well. But, I think the Lions are right there as far as to that third team right now that could, surprise some people in the NFC.
And and this is the thing that I like about the Lions too. They play hard for their coach, man. He really cares about them. So they ain't gonna sell you short on that for them. You're gonna have to beat them. They ain't gonna lay down. So that's why the one thing that I do like about them. I don't know if experience, in the playoffs will catch up to them. You know what I mean? And like you said, going on the road, stuff like that. I think that might be the determining factor of them winning or losing. You know what I mean, with those experienced teams.
Right.
But I mean, you're gonna have to give. I mean, they're gonna give you their best shot though, so they're not gonna roll over for sure.
Yeah.
Now, right now, I guess one of the things we can talk about.
Our talk.
Are we done?
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. I just want to say thank you guys for watching. I appreciate everybody coming out to Drunk Uncles podcast. Thank you for BC for coming out.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
Co-host.
Appreciate it.
Great vibes. Thank you for tuning in. We out of here.
Herbert, best quarterback in the NFL.
Fuck no.
That's